Hello. How's it going, everyone? How are you all? We've been into a bit more excitement, a little bit more pep. Hello. How's it going, everyone? Say, everyone, there's no one watching yet. If I did come out from behind the digital curtain too soon. Anyway, it's a Monday night. I thought we'd all hang out and chat. Hope you're doing alright. Don't know who I'm speaking to right now. How's it going? If you are watching and you are lurking, just say hello in the chat. Let me know you're there. So yeah, I've got no plan, no agenda again for this stream. It's just a simple case of just going live. We'll have a chat. Hey, PC. How's it going, TC? How are you? What have you been up to today? What have you done? Who have you killed? And why are you so quick to admit that you've killed someone? Still got my backing music up a bit loud, haven't I? Alright, I'll knock that down. Hello! Sorry, my backing music was still up. I need to work out a way of doing that so that it changes between scenes, the level of that music. Don't think it is possible on OBS Classic, but there's got to be something, some sort of plug-in or some sort of setting to do that automatically. Who knows? Hey, right. So yeah, like I was saying, whilst I was partially drowned out by the music, yeah, it's Monday night. I thought we'll do another one of these hangout streams where we just chat, see what comes up, and just have a conversation about anything that's going on. Who have I killed and when? Well, I don't know. That's what I was asking you, TC. Who have you killed? Hello, random goon. How's it going, my friend? How's it going? Right. Nope. Jesus Christ. The second I go live, my phone starts going off like mad. It's not heard a peep out of it for the last couple of hours, and then just all of a sudden I go live and then suddenly, oh, everything's coming through. Weird. What have you been up to then, Goon? What misadventures have you been partaking in? We find folk be okay, my friend. We find folk be okay. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Of course. Whew. So, yeah, this afternoon, I went ahead and finished Mega Man 7 and 8. Well, I say I finished 7 this afternoon. I finished 7 the other day, but played through Mega Man 8 today. Got that finished. Is your... yeah. It's not exactly a use-by date. It's more a sell-by date. Well, actually, my phone is quite comparatively old. But... 0 adventures on... Oh, God. What? Was it an unplanned trip to the hospital, Goon, or is it just to get your robot elbow fixed? What was it? Yakida, credible. How's it going? Yakida, is that right, actually, by the way? Is that the right greeting? Or have I just massively insulted you accidentally in Welsh? Well, maybe the pronunciation of it, even if it is correct. But, yeah. Sorry, I've just had to adjust my headphones again as well, because... Yakida, yeah. I was doing that weird thing where I had both headphones on for a bit, and I was overly conscious that I might be shouting. So, one of them now has been relegated to partially the back of my head. That's cheer. Oh, cheers in Wales. Nostar. Ah, right. Okay. Nostar. Credible threat. Nostar. Da meaning good and nos meaning night. Ah, right. Ah, there you go. There you go. I've learned. While. While? Is that credible? While. He will. He will. Trying to think now. Shamai indeed. Shamai indeed. Credible threat. I can't remember what the response to that is, but I know how to pronounce that. It's Shamai. Namaste. No, I'm joking. Hoyle. Right, okay. As in Lindsay Hoyle. So is this Lindsay Hoyle? No, I've never heard of her, but is she an alcoholic? Considering her surname is Cheers. They'll do a Welsh language. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I was smiling when I said that, but it is genuinely a good idea, mate. Not a terrible idea. Sorry. Lindsay Hoyle is the current Speaker of the House of... Ah, right. Well, yeah, she must be an alcoholic then. You'd have to be to deal with that. And the MP for... for Chorley. Ah, Chorley. I know it well. I know the area well. Well, having lived in Bolton, Chorley's not too far away. Yeah. So, it's Halloween week, everyone. Is everyone going trick-or-treating at the weekend? Why? Why am I asking that? She's that much of an alcoholic that he's met. Oh! Oh! Oh, I see. Oh. Camelot the theme park used to be, yeah. That's not right. Surely that's a really thin band. Sorry. In other news, my brother has lent me for a couple of days his Nintendo Switch. So I'm going to be looking at that over the next couple of days. I can't stream anything from it, unfortunately, and well, even if I could, he hasn't got that many games for it yet. Most of the stuff he's got, the old Nintendo stuff, the stuff that I've got emulated. So looks a bit like Sergeant Cryer. Oh, Bob Cryer. Yeah. Yeah, I remember him. God, he was an interesting looking fellow, wasn't he? You won't forget his face in a hurry. Actually, that said, about a year ago now, I started watching The Bill from the start, because it's all up on the UK TV, the UK TV Play. Yeah, UK TV player. I started watching it. I think I got about halfway through series 1. God, it was different then. The theme tune as well was what got me. The theme tune, the old theme tune to The Bill, really confused me. Because it's the theme tune we all know and love. It sounds like it's just the intro to it. So every episode I was like waiting for the theme tune to kick in, thinking, yeah, all right, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Yeah, we're gonna get to a good part of the thing, and then it just doesn't happen. It just sounds like it's gearing up to what it eventually became. Also, incidentally, for those of you who don't know, the theme tune to The Bill is called Overkill. Back in the day where theme tunes had really obnoxious and full of themselves titles. Like, the one for the Crystal Maze is called Force Field. Never say my streams aren't educational. You've just learnt that the theme tune to the Crystal Maze was called Force Field, and the theme tune to The Bill is called Overkill. So, yeah, there you go. some stupid... I know some really useless, tedious...
Can't stay. Child has dominion over my mobile for the last week. But feel better knowing that I just said F your ears, and you jumping made him giggle.
Hey, thank you very much, Trucker, for the £6.66 donation. And I'm starting to wonder whether I should watch what I say now if your kid's listening. Hello, honey monster. You feel enlightened? Ah, lovely. And if you felt enlightened by this stream, feel free to follow Truckers Sue and donate to streamlabs.com/mankpeeps. Actually, no, I really do feel like I should watch what I'm saying now. Not seen you for a while, honey monster. Where have you been? Where have you been hiding? Would you get lost in a box of sugar puffs? Why would you get lost in a box of sugar puffs? I was just trying to make some sort of random association between your name and sugar puffs, and immediately I imagined you're about 3 inches tall and got lost in a box for some reason. It happens. Oh, bloody hell. TC follows everyone. TC's a well-known stalker around these parts. He's a harmless stalker, but he's a well-known one. No, Pete. Moved from London to Scottish Island last year. Ah, right, I see. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey. You settled in? You settled in all right, though? You... Ooh. Ooh. I'll have to check that out later. I'll make a note of that. Hang on. Get me pen. Okay. Okay, that's worrying. Sorry, every time I move my phone, I get the little thing at the bottom of the Ah, cool. Fair enough. Every time I move my phone, I get the little connection thing at the bottom of my phone screen saying that it's charging again, which makes me... It's not actually charging. That might have something to do with the fact I've just unplugged my charger. Fucking USB cable keeps coming out of my... Hello, Karma. Fucking USB thing keeps coming out of my phone charger. Right, locked in place now. Don't worry about cursing. His dad is out of work truck driver and you are too tame. No, right, I see. Okay. How was work, Karma? Karma, when you finish work, I should still be live because I'm probably gonna go till about at least 10. But when you finish work, feel free to swing by and say something strange in my ears. Yeah, no, I think it might be the actual port in the phone or the cable. So, I may have to find a way to get my phone repaired. Or get a new cable. Who knows? Who knows? Worked hard today, Vera. Crazy busy or crazy bored. I know. Yeah, I know. Oh. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind watching the Toy Story films again. But obviously, when the first one came out, I was quite young, so I watched that to death. The second one, the second and the third Toy Story films, I've only seen once each, I think. All right, Karma. All right. Yeah, the second and the third, I think I've only seen once each, and the fourth, not seen at all. Not seen the fourth. Actually, it's just occurred to me as well, jumping around from topic to topic here, but going back to what I was saying about the Switch before, one of the games my brother has got on there is Animal Crossing, and I daren't try it because I know for a fact I'll get sucked in. You guys won't see me for a month. So I've watched the first one 4 times a day. Fucking hell. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. So, are you saying it would be a hopelessly cruel thing for me to do now if I were to convince everyone to start spamming you on Discord with songs from Toy Story? I am not saying do that, guys. I am not saying spam Trucker with songs from Toy Story. Because that would be needlessly cruel. It's not mine, Honey Monster. It's not my Switch. Which is what... Right. Here we go. Slight product review from Mank Pete. One of the things I'm really concerned... Obviously, right, with this not being my Switch, I'm being quite delicate with it when I play it anyway. Right? But the Joy-Cons on either side, right, they feel like they could just break off. In the middle of playing them. So when I was playing a couple of games earlier, I was being really sort of delicate with it, which was fucking me up in the game actually. Yeah, I was playing some old SNES games on it. I'll have a proper look at Animal Crossing later and see what all the fuss is about there. I know so many people have become obsessed with that game. That's it. I was talking to my brother and I said, look, have you got any of the big, like, Nintendo games for it? And he was like, no, not really, just Animal Crossing. All right. I am thinking of getting Breath of the Wild. I was like, yes, get Breath of the Wild. Because I want to play it. All I know is Little Bo Peep. Oh, Jesus, trucker. Here you go, as well. Everyone probably knows this already, but Little Bo Peep in the Toy Story films, voiced by Annie Potts, Janine from the Ghostbusters films. There you go. Another really weird random fact for you. Ghostbusters, what do you want? Sorry, I just looked over at Twitter for a second. Nothing going on. Apart from, sad news, Gunther from Friends died today. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah. That's sad news. For anyone says, no, he wasn't shot by Alec Baldwin. And thank you very much, Goon. I just spotted that you've just retweeted the stream. Thank you very much, mate. A random factoid indeed. A random factoid indeed, TC. Yeah, I know. I was saying this, we're in a voice chat the other day, I was saying this off air, apart from a couple of one or two other prominent guest stars, and this is in no way as much, but Gunther was the most reoccurring guest character in Friends. I think after that it was Elliot Gould as Monica and Ross's dad. And the drop-off is really fucking big. It's like Gunther was in about 150 episodes and Elliot Gould was in about 80. So yeah, the drop-off was pretty big. And obviously the 6 core cast were in every single episode. That's quite rare as well for a series like that every single one of the main cast were in every single episode. I mean, I know that's why they're the main cast, but usually, especially with like long running shows, like Friends ran for 10 seasons, they'll do like the odd episode where it's just one or two of the characters, or a couple of, like, there were episodes of there were episodes of the X-Files that both, I mean, before season 8 when David Duchovny actually left, but before then there were episodes of the X-Files that didn't have Mulder in or didn't have Scully in. So, you know, that temptation, I think that a lot of series have to play around with the format like that. Never watched Friends. There are videos on YouTube of it without any. Like, yes, I know. I've seen some of those. And yeah. In some, well, I don't know about bland. I don't know about bland Honey Monster, but the ones I've seen paint it out to be quite dark and quite weird without the laughter track. I think one of the ones that springs to mind is the episode where Ross goes to a self-defense class, and they take the laughter out.
What was that about After Eight?
All right. They take the laughter out, and it just looks like Ross is actually unhinged. I mean, more than he appears in the show, because part of the joke is he is a bit odd in the show. But he looks like actually psychotic without the laughter track. But genuinely, Friends is quite good. I did really enjoy Friends at the time. And then when it finished, I didn't sort of really bother with it or watch it all too much afterwards. Yeah, but the thing is, Honey Monster, you could say that about any sitcom, really. They're just reading lines. But, yeah, after Friends had finished, I didn't really bother with it, rewatching it all too much. But it is nice occasionally just to go back and watch the odd episode, I find. It's like it still gets repeated over here on I think Channel 5 have the rights to it now, because it was originally on Channel 4 throughout its original run. And then when it finished, it vanished and disappeared. And now Channel 5 have got the rights, and they've been repeating it. And occasionally I'll catch the odd episode, and it's still funny. I still enjoy it. It's not something I would go. It's not something, say, like well, for me, like Red Dwarf or something like that, something that I would sit and marathon for hours. But it is something, if there was the odd episode on, I'll watch. Trying to think what made me TV Awful. TV Awful was the Victor Lewis Smith show. One Foot in the Grave, yeah. Men Behaving Badly, bang on. Red Dwarf, obviously. Jasper Carrot. Yeah. Jasper Carrot was funny. Smith and Jones, classic. Hale and Pace, never liked Hale and Pace. Was never a fan of Hale and Pace. Although now in like older years, I've seen the odd clip, because there's some random user on TikTok who occasionally uploads old Hale and Pace sketches, and they're quite funny. Well, that's right, Honey Monster. This is the big debate I had a couple of years ago, actually. I did a whole video about it. You remember the Red Dwarf Back to Earth specials, which was supposed to be the 21st anniversary specials they did. They didn't have a laughter track on it. It wasn't the first time they'd filmed it without an audience, but it was the first time that they'd never bothered showing it to an audience before broadcast either. And it just felt weird. It just really felt weird. And the only other time that they'd made it without an audience was Series 7. But before broadcast, they did screen it to an audience to get the laughter track. It wasn't canned laughter. But with the Back to Earth specials, they didn't even bother doing that. And it took something away from the show for me. It just... There's a whole video on this channel. There's a whole video I did on this channel where I talk about it more in depth. Well, slight correction. Naylor's been with Red Dwarf throughout the whole run. It's Rob Grant who left after Series 6. It was Rob Grant who left. Because they had a massive falling out, and Rob Grant decided he didn't want Red Dwarf to be the only thing, which is a arsey thing to say, considering they'd both been the lead writers and the producers behind Spitting Image before that as well, and they'd had a #1 hit with Spitting Image, my cover of which is also on this channel. So, you know, it was a bit of an arsey take for him to go, no, I don't want Red Dwarf to be the only thing I've ever done. And it's like, oh, fuck off. And then you look at what he's done since, actually. It's a mixed bag. What Rob Grant's done since, it's a mixed bag. He did a sitcom in the early 2000s for Sky called The Strangerers, which it had Jack Doherty and Mark Williams in playing a pair of aliens who came to Earth, and a pre-Fame, well, pre-Mock the Week. Pre-Mock the Week, Milton Jones. Honey Monster, Four Candles, love that. Of course I've seen Four Candles. Of course I've seen Four Candles. I've seen a lot of the Two Ronnies, mate. Can't say I've ever sat and watched like a whole episode of the show, but I've seen like the classic sketches, like Four Candles, the Mastermind sketch, you know, the answering the question before the last one, that one. And I know all the tropes, you know, it's good night from him, and it's good night from him. You know, I have seen that stuff. Mark Williams, I can remember him from Reeves and Mortimer. Yes! Yes! The Slade at Home sketches. That was just before the Fast Show as well. I think the first series of The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer was the year before the Fast Show started. Yeah. I think it was anyway, or might have been the same year. But the Fast Show. The Fast Show was a show I fucking loved. Just I don't know what it was about some of those sketches, because you knew, obviously, with like what the Fast Show was, you knew what the punchline was going to be. You knew the punchline was going to be like that character's catchphrase, but it's how they built up to it that made it funny. Like, especially with one of Mark Williams's characters, and so I rescued all the people from the burning building, and I made sure they were all fine, and it was no, and I'm trying to improvise one then, but that kind of thing, and so I rescued all the people from the burning building, and the chief commissioner of the fire department actually made me an honorary fireman. And then eventually, for my services, I was knighted by the Queen. Which was nice. Good one from the turn of the... it's the Mr. Hell show. I've heard of that. I've heard of that. And Enfield did voices. Yes. Yes, he did. As did Chris Barry and Steve Coogan. And Alistair McGowan and Ronnie Ancona as well. They all did Spitting Image voices. Steve Coogan. Gotta love him. Well, he's a local lad. Of course I've gotta love him. Like me, he's a monk. But yeah, going back to Spitting Image, like I mentioned or alluded to before, Rob Grant and Doug Naylor were the original. Not the original. It was after series 1 of it. They got promoted to head writers and producers of Spitting Image. So that was essentially their big break in the industry of like TV comedy. It was them working on Spitting Image, but for years they'd had sketch shows on radio. They'd written for Jasper Carrot as well, but it wasn't until Spitting Image that they got their names out there. In fact, it was Spitting Image that finally got Red Dwarf made, because they'd been trying to get Red Dwarf made for about, I think, 4 or 5 years before it eventually ended up getting... Yeah, the pilot for Red Dwarf was written in 1984. But it wasn't until 1987 that it was accepted. So that's it, about 3 years. And it was because they'd taken over Spitting Image. That they had a slightly bigger comedy dick to swing, if you like. Really? Oh, God, what's the guy's name? Now, I'm trying to think. Bloke who plays John Shuttleworth. Oh, fuck. If the chat gets this before Wikipedia does... Why do I keep thinking it's Simon something? It's not Simon something. It's... Right. John Shuttleworth. Graham. That's it. Graham Fellows. That's the bloke who plays him. But yeah, he was Jilted John. I used to have a load of series of Shuttleworth on tape, actually. Right. I used to have the first few series of Drop the Dead Donkey on DVD years ago. Oh, that was a good show. That was a fucking great show. And you were kind of right, Credible, that apart from the E, yeah, Drop the Dead Donkey was good. Little fact for you about Drop the Dead Donkey: while most of the episode was written, like pre-written, like before the series started filming, they always left gaps in the script to fill in with topical jokes, which were recorded the night before broadcast. Hi, Spoons. Hi, Spoons. Yeah. Completely non politically correct. But yeah, they used to leave gaps in the script. And sort of the day of recording, i.e. the day before the show was due to go out, they'd be writing jokes to put in those gaps to keep the show topical. But the actual, like, the cut and parry and the thrust of the episode was always pre-written well beforehand. So the actual plot of each episode and all the story bits were all planned ahead of time. But oh, you finally got some wine. What do you think? What do you think of wine gums then, Spoonie? This is a nice callback to a stream from a few months ago now. What do you think of wine gums? Don't you dare say chewy. What I'm going to do... Spoons likes. They're nice, aren't they? They're nice wine gums. What I'm going to do in about... I'll say about 15, 20 minutes... I am going to pop you on Be Right Back. I'm going to bring up Blind Girl's lovely music again, because I need to disappear for 15 minutes. Don't forget, not 9 o'clock news and the young ones. Right, I'm just going to quickly go for a piss. Hang on. Be right back. Oh. Hold on. And I'm back. Not the 9 o'clock news and the young ones, yeah? To get back to what we were talking about, not the 9 o'clock news was fantastic. The young ones, love it. I think it's brilliant, but I think it's dated quite badly. I think it's very much of the time it came out. Which is why I prefer Bottom to the young ones, really. Because even though ultimately, you know, even Bottom's a bit dated, but ultimately the young ones has dated worse. Still funny, it's still fantastic, but of the two, Bottom is better. Yes, for that. The New Statesman. Not seen that for fucking years. Not seen the New Statesman in years. I did like it. I did like the New Statesman, but some episodes, yeah. Well, with the young ones, there's only 12 episodes of it, which isn't a criticism. I mean, there are some fantastic, very short-run sitcoms. I mean, look at Fawlty Towers. There's only 12 episodes of that, and that's easily one of the best sitcoms of all time. I mean, I say that. I also count Only Fools and Horses as one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And look how many episodes of that there are. There's 7 full series between 6 and 8 episodes each, and then countless Christmas specials. Yes, yes, Minister, and yes, Prime Minister. We're good. Yes, I do recognise that, but I think the thick of it is funnier. So you see, I think the thick of it is much funnier. I mean, it's a very different show, I'll admit, but that whole idea of inside the halls of power political comedy, I would go with the thick of it. And that's just, well, let's face it, the key reason to watch the thick of it is Malcolm Tucker, really, isn't it? The most sweary but quotable character on TV from the last few series. Too many. Well, to be honest with you, Honey Monster, there was only 7 series of Only Fools and Horses. There was only 7 series of Only Fools and Horses, where the episodes of Fools and Horses that people seem to remember most are the Christmas specials, though. So things like the Jolly Boys outing and the Batman and Robin one, which that was part of the trilogy they did. They did the first trilogy they did, but the 1996 one, that was. I'm trying to think what the first episode of that one was called, because the second one was Modern Men, and then Time on Our Hands. But there was a first one to it. Heroes and Villains. That's obviously, yes, that's the one with the famous Batman and Robin scene. Yeah. There's Heroes and Villains, Modern Men, and Time in Our Hands was the original, final Only Fools and Horses up until a few years ago. Up until a few years later when they brought it back. Roger Allam is good on the... Yeah, you bought a fucking bank out of social embarrassment. Yeah. That was the trilogy. Yeah, but it ended with them becoming millionaires. That should have been the end, really. I think a lot of people agreed they should have ended it there, but no, they brought it back in the early 2000s for 3 final specials, which were still good. They were still very funny, but it should have ended with them just becoming millionaires and that being it. Ending with that classic line, "This time next year, Rodney, we'll be billionaires." I've not seen much of Kenny Everett. I'll admit, I haven't seen much of Kenny Everett's stuff. I've seen the odd sketch and the odd clip, but I've not seen anything sustained of Kenny Everett. I know he was massively influential. But yeah. Oh yeah, no, what you? Yeah, incredible. You're talking about Fools and Horses. Yeah, yeah. The final trilogy, so the 2001 to 2003 trilogy was nice, but looking back at it in context of the rest of the series, it should have ended well before that. Well, it should have ended with the millionaires thing. Get this as well. Right. More random trivia for you. The episode of that trilogy, the first episode of it, Del Boy goes on a game show hosted by Jonathan Ross called Gold Rush. Now, originally, it was supposed to be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and in fact, the BBC had secured the rights for them to use Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and have Chris Tarrant in, use the set, and say that he was on the show. However, ITV, it's Celador, that's the company behind Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, had a caveat, which was, you can use Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and we'll give you Chris Tarrant as well, but you've got to allow ITV to repeat the episode. And the BBC said no. So they changed the script quite last minute and wrote all the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire shit out and made up their own game show. Never trust a man who has 2 Christian names. David Jason. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, the first of the what is now the final trilogy would have seen Del Boy go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire but Celador wanted the rights to repeat the show on ITV, and the BBC went, no. Celador, Jasper Carrot owns 50% of the company. I think he does, yeah. I think this. There was a lot of that in the 80s. I know the company Talkback that made things like The Day Today, Brass Eye, Alan Partridge, and a lot of like late 90s comedy was a company set up by Mel Smith and Griff Rhys-Jones. And then they sold it to Thames, who then sold everything to Fremantle. So that's why Talkback is now Talkback Thames Fremantle. Why not just give it a different name at that point instead of just adding names onto it? So it was originally Talkback Productions, then Talkback Thames, then Talkback Thames Fremantle. Just give it a different name. But I think Fremantle also now own Celador as well. So it's like fish, if you like. It's like fish. Bigger fish eats the smaller fish, and then another bigger fish comes along and eats them both. You know. And that's it. It's what I'm going to say. Yeah, it's just occurred to me as well. Charlie Brooker's production company, Zeppotron, is owned by Fremantle also. Sorry, I'm just checking something on my tablet. Fair enough. Whose line is it anyway? Oh, yes. Honey Monster, League of Gentlemen is fantastic, and I won't hear a word against it. I've rewatched the League of Gentlemen recently, and yes, it does hold up. Yes, it does hold up. The League of Gentlemen absolutely holds up. The first Talkback production was the film adaptation of Wilt. Yes, I remember that as well. I say ironically, obviously, that was the one starring Smith and Jones, wasn't it? And Alison Steadman was in it too. Never read the books though. I've never read the books. The only one of Tom Sharp's books I've read is Porterhouse Blue. And that's because, well, my dad is a massive fan of the TV adaptation they did. And so, vicariously, I ended up watching it. And then I liked it so much that I went and read the book as well. Weirdly enough, you were meant to do an ASMR reading of it. Ah, right. I used to show League of Gentlemen to my... Well, it's... Oh, but Jesus Christ, Honey Monster. That's not the kind of thing you show anyone younger than their late teens. That's not... The League of Gentlemen. Come on, man. What are you doing? I'll tell you what, though, Honey Monster, if Burniston, no, I haven't. But I was about to recommend to you. I've spoken about this on this channel before, and recommended this on my channel before. Inside Number 9 If you like the League of Gentlemen, you'll love Inside Number 9. It's darker, and in some cases, it's not as outwardly funny. But Inside Number 9 is very good. Monday night. It's only 3 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock here, Quinn. It's 8 o'clock here. And that's it as well. Yeah, alright. I am going to have to vanish for 10 minutes in a bit. I will leave you with Blind Girl's music for a little bit. Yes, I saw something about that. Yeah, alright, whilst I'll take this opportunity to take my leave and run to the shop. I'll bring up that, and I'll fade up the music again. But what I would say is, in the break, I'm only going to be gone 10 minutes at most. Go check out Credible Threats channel. Show him some love. And Credible, if in the chat, if you just want to tell everyone what this stream, what this charity thing is, then feel free. Shill, promote yourself, my friend. Alright, I will be back shortly.
It's getting colder.
And I'm back. Just have a quick catch up with the chat. Yep, absolutely no problem whatsoever, credible. Also, I didn't realise that Ella was Gone Girl. She's followed me for quite a while on Twitter. I know who Ella Tallulah is, but I didn't think that was Gone Girl. I don't know why. Now I know. And TC, anyone here remember Armchair Theatre? You mean Armchair Theatre? Or am I thinking of something else? All right. Hey, thank you. Yeah, the original Doctor Who theme was very scary for its time, and for what it was as well. The theme tune to what was, and still kind of is, considered a kids' show. Much less now, actually. Much less considered a kids' show since about, I'd say, since about Peter Capaldi's era. Because, right, Russell T Davies made it very sort of cartoony and camp, which is great, right? Thank you very much. I am back. Made it very cartoony, and then Stephen Moffat, when he took over with Matt Smith, obviously, you know, he had his own slightly more arcing take on it. But it was still very fairy tale-ish. It was still very fairy tale orientated. It wasn't until Peter Capaldi's era that it started to become a more serious sci-fi show. And then obviously, yeah, all right, Honey Monster. I was going to mention that. The last few series, the Chibnall years, we'll say, that it's lost its way. It's lost its way. And that's not to denigrate anyone actually involved with it, apart from maybe except Chris Chibnall, who is a great writer in his own right. He's a great writer in his own right, but what was it I was saying months ago? Never let the fans get hold of the show. Never let a fan write the show. Which I think is what the last few series of it has been. It's been pure fan fiction. And unfortunately, Jodie Whittaker, great actress as she is, has been caught up in that. So with her being the Doctor, she takes a lot of the flack for it as well, which it's a bit unfair. But, you know. And from what I understand as well, amongst, before he became part of the Doctor Who team, Chris Chibnall wasn't much liked amongst Doctor Who fans. He was well known amongst Doctor Who fans, but not much liked. Even before, I think realistically, before they brought it back as well. Before they brought it back in 2005, he was known and not liked. Let me write the next series. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, hang on a sec. Credible. If I was to write a series of Doctor Who, it would just end up being a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but crossed with Doctor Who. it'd just be too comedic in tone. I think. And hi, Brit. Are you feeling better, by the way, sweet? How are you feeling now, hon? I mean, right. Take, for example, this was in the compilation that I put out the other day. A short. It was the very first thing in the compilation. Was a short, little Hitchhiker's inspired thing. That was actually written as the intro to a Doctor Who story I was writing. For Big Finish's Paul Spragg Memorial Writers' Opportunity a few years ago. I had an idea of the plot of it was going to be, right, get this. It was going to be, because he's my favourite Doctor, the 8th Doctor, right? And his Big Finish sidekick, Charlie, called Charlie, actually. Why can't I remember her surname? What the fuck? I'm drawing a blank. Oh shit. Really, Brit? But have they fixed her up? Have they given you shit for it? Have they given you stuff for it? You, well, rather than sitting here in silence, waiting for you to answer, I'll just say, you just rest up and take it easy and take the medication you've been prescribed. You've been given some strong pills. Oh, what kind of pills? They're going to have Co in the name, I'm certain of this. But yeah, it's very sorry to hear you're not well at the minute, hon. God, everyone's coming down with something lately. I mean, not to take away from you feeling ill. But it seems everyone's coming down with something lately. Even I've not been feeling 100%, but you don't see me coughing up blood. No, I'm joking. Oh, Jesus. Well, that stuff, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like a fucking lot. But no, that stuff, yeah, that's a perfectly normal dose. Yeah, I definitely hope you feel better soon, hon. Right, hang on. What was I saying? Oh yeah. This this story. It was going to be the Eighth Doctor and his companion Charlie. They chance across a space station where human beings are being essentially battery farmed because there's a section of the galaxy out there where, ironically, illnesses and that can be cured with certain things, certain pheromones, certain parts of like humans that can aid with these alien illnesses, and so they chance across like a human battery farm, and it was the whole story was supposed to be a parody and takeoff of like holistic medicine, you know. That's why in that short narration thing, I make jokes about how there's one race in the galaxy that found out that their equivalent of piles can be cured by duck's eyes. You just have to rub one against the affected area. Just because I wanted to create that mental image of somebody rubbing a duck's eye against their arse. So yeah, I had this whole idea of writing a story about galactic homeopaths. And I was going to weave in a lot of like Hitchhiker's Guide nonsense throughout it. Like the actual start of the actual narrative of the story was going to see the companion reading a copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Not the book, the actual in-universe thing. But the challenge I'd set for myself was never refer to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by name or make it absolutely obvious that that's what's going on. Just allude to it slightly. Allude to it and sort of make people think, oh, hang on, is that? But the rest of the plot for this story, I found it too difficult to actually plot out in a way that wouldn't... Because it was supposed to be just a short story. But when I was trying to do it, it became like 4-5 part serial. Old-fashioned Doctor Who serial. So I ended up going, I'm just going to abandon this. This is too much. But of it, I kept the intro, which I wrote. I think the intro and the opening to the actual narrative is all I ended up writing. You'd be wearing a towel on his head with a 42 tattoo on the side. Yes. The universe. Some information to help you live in it. But I may return to that idea one day if I can pare it back a bit. I had another idea, but I think it was another idea I had, but it was slightly too high-minded, I think, for Doctor Who, which would have found a colony on a planet, all being told that their planet was gonna die. That they were all having to move off the planet because it was going to become uninhabitable. But it turns out that it was all a hoax. It was just some other intergalactic conglomerate wanted the planet to mine it for resources. So they told them that it was yeah, you can't live here anymore, unfortunately. It's not going to be fit for human life soon. You're going to have to find somewhere else to live. But it's all because they just wanted people out of the way. So they could mine it for... Which... One of the things that stands in the way, I think that's already been done. I don't remember seeing it, and I can't tell you what Doctor Who story it was, because I don't know. But I think it has been done. Going back to bed. Oh, all right, Brit. You feel better soon, my love. You feel better soon, sweetie. But one of the things standing in the way is I didn't want to get seen as like a climate change conspiracy theorist denier who's trying to write this into a Doctor Who, because I just thought it was an interesting idea for a story. But I thought, he's trying to insert his own politics into it. No, I believe climate change is real. I just don't think it's as bad as a lot of the climate change proponents are saying it is. I think climate change is a natural thing. It is going to happen, and I think we're not helping things. But at the end of the day, in short, I wanted to write a slightly satirical story, but not insert politics into it. If you know what I mean, I wanted to write a satire of conspiracy theories, but not take a stance either way, which is harder than it would appear. That said, I do take a very hard stance on like homeopathy and alternative medicine. It's one of the few things that I am willing to go on record and say, yeah, that's all bollocks. You know that, don't you? That and spirituality and ghosts. Don't believe in that either. At all. Don't believe in ghosts. Don't believe in the afterlife. Ironically, Pete versus the Bilderberg group. I know, right? I say all that though, credible. That shit fascinates me. All of that, like conspiracy theory and globalist stuff, it fascinates me. I just don't believe it or subscribe to it myself. I just find it massively interesting. I mean, all right, hang on a sec. To clarify, the Bilderberg group exist, and they are a cabal of big business owners and political leaders. Yeah. Well, fair enough, credible. But yeah, the Bilderberg group exist, and they are a cabal of big business owners, big business leaders, political leaders as well. But I think the whole shadowy, they're trying to take over the world or run, like, a lot of the uber conspiratorial stuff is bollocks. But yeah, obviously, you get a lot of people in power like that, people who are in charge of like big oil and big pharma and increasingly nowadays big data. right? Yeah, of course they're all going to get together. They're all going to meet up. I just don't think they're all Satan-worshipping, blood-drinking paedophiles. Well, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I could imagine that Bill Gates has met with Boris Johnson, but whether it's commit an act of mass subterfuge and keep everyone down whilst they carry on with their evil plans is... It all depends on your definition of evil plan, I think. Whether it's, yeah, understandably, for a lot of it, it's going to be, how are we going to make more money for you? Which, you know, is what big businesses are going to be interested in doing. Rightly or wrongly. Ugh. But like I say, I just didn't want to write something that would paint me out to be some mad conspiracy theorist. So it's like years ago I had an idea for a kind of sci-fi story in 3 parts based around Muse albums, and Muse are massively into their conspiracy theories. But there was 3 Muse albums round about the time that I got into them. So we're talking, I got into them just after Black Holes and Revelations came out. Right. So there was Black Holes and Revelations, then The Resistance, and then The Second Law. Now, I realised if you listen to those albums in reverse order, they tell a story. Or they could easily tell a story. And I wanted to write that story, which was The Second Law being about human avarice and human greed making our planet uninhabitable, and just scrambling and scrabbling to find something that's some way of fixing it. Which is why, well, the last is it? Oh, I'm going to say, is it The Second Law or is it The Resistance? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, The Second Law, the idea I came up with was The Second Law was us fucking up the planet. And then The Resistance was us, was a, us versus them story of the powers that be trying to fix it, and then some people resisting it and saying, no, this is our bed, we have to lie in it now. Which is why the last track on The Resistance, I think it's called Exogenesis or Exegis, which is us flying out into space to find a new planet to live on, which is where Black Holes and Revelations comes in. And so for the third part of it, it was going to be a bit of a lost in space, well, not quite lost in space, but the idea, the reason why the Robinson family leave Earth in Lost in Space, and then finding a planet and us causing a war on that planet and then fucking up that planet. Sounds good. I wrote a sitcom script a few years ago based on Romeo and Juliet. Well, Romeo was a working class football nut from Birmingham and Juliet is a posh girl. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Oh, what was the... I'm going to say this was a sitcom idea that I had, but it wasn't. This is genuinely a living situation I was in, but I did think of writing a sitcom around it, but it's kind of like a weird take on Bottom, if you like. Two friends trapped in a flat together. One of which has just this was me trying to make the best of a bad situation. One of which had been recently made homeless and was sofa surfing on his friend's sofa. That makes any sense? Yes. And just the weird conversations and situations that arise from that, because I know I've spoken about these on these streams before, but yeah, when I was sofa surfing, there were quite a few situations that I found myself in. Babysitting a pair of prostitutes was possibly the strangest one, I think. But kind of, it was one of those things where afterwards I thought, do you know what? I could have written all that down. I say babysitting a couple of prostitutes. It was more, my flatmate at the time had got drunk, brought back a couple of prostitutes. All this whilst I was asleep on the sofa. I had no idea any of this was going on until I just woke up and there were two women there. One of which was like, your mate's just gone off to the cash machine so we can try and pay me. What? Who are you? And then I get the phone call. Oh, I can't get the money out to pay them. Can you get rid of them? Oh, great. So not only have I just been woken up by two hookers, but I've now got to find a way to get them out of the flat and tell them they're not going to be paid for, I don't know what. What did you bring these people back for? That was a strange night. They were nice enough women, to be fair. They were nice enough women. I'd like to say they were fairly reasonable about the situation, but they were quite obviously, understandably angry. And if they were angry, I was fucking furious that I'd been left in that situation. Yeah, I know what happens in Manchester. The only problem is, though, the more I thought, when I was thinking about like writing it all down or sort of adapting it into like a sitcom format, I just realised this could either be one of the most darkly funny things ever written, or one of the most fucking depressing things ever written. The line is very fine. It's a very fine line. Ah. yeah, kind of thinking about it, sort of mulling the idea back over in my mind, I could see it being like a cross between The Odd Couple and Bottom, with a very dark lilt to it. I may well do it in the future. I may well. Time removed, it doesn't feel as... Time removed from it, it doesn't feel as depressing. Because, oh God, we're talking about... This was 4 or 5 years ago now? About 4 years ago. Yeah. 4 years ago, 2017. All this was going on. Crikey. Oi! Hello, Alec. How's it going? How the fucking devil are ya? Could always have a go at writing, one day writing a few episodes. Yeah. Or certainly writing a treatment, if you like, or a plan. If I think of it as... Sorry, I'm going to say it. Sorry. I just opened a notification on Facebook. Got a friend request from my brother's girlfriend. I just went to accept it, and then it's just dropped me back on my timeline afterwards. First thing I've seen is watch Robert Plant whilst Roger Waters. And it's a gardening thing with Roger Waters and Robert Plant. I'll save the image to my phone, and I'll post it in my Discord. So if you're in my Discord, you'll get to see this very strange meme. I'll put it in memes, actually. There we go. How's it going anyway, Taylor? Hello, blind girl. Blind girl, feel free to join me in the studio if you like. You're one. But yeah, I might. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, if I was to write something like that, I'd probably, before I try to write like a script, probably write an outline for at least a couple of episodes. And then work on the script from there. Or try and write a pilot, I don't know. Might as well use my time. Might as well use the knowledge I gained from my time at uni for something. Because, yeah, for those who don't know, I studied script writing for stage, screen and radio at uni. As a joint degree with creative writing. I dropped out, obviously, but... Because I fell out of love with the strict and stringent way at which the demanded you write particular things. I don't think there's... When it comes to something creative like writing, I don't think it's possible to sort of academically tie it down too much. And at that level, they do that. Because I found the focus tends to be more on... The focus tends to be more on form rather than function. If the course was more focused around making sure all your scripts were formatted correctly and you knew how to like broach your ideas to somebody who could make them, then I'd have probably fared a lot better. But no, it was more prescriptive as to this is what the story should be, or no, this is how the story should go beat by beat. Because that's the way, I don't know, Stanley Kubrick did it, or, you know. That's what I didn't like about it. If it was more technical, is what I'm saying. If it was more technical, then I'd have probably stuck it out. Because that stuff would have been good to know. I mean, there was that stuff. But most of the modules and the lectures and that were focused on studying previous ones and trying to emulate that, which I don't think that's conducive to a creative medium. Trying to do something exactly the same way somebody else had done it prior. Hopefully you get what I mean there. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, it's my fault. I'm not explaining it that well. But yeah, it did help me. Right, my time at uni did help me with a few things. It kind of helped me strengthen and further articulate and understand my love for radio and radio drama, audio drama. Because one of the modules we did was around writing for radio and writing radio drama and that. It did help me understand what it was about that I enjoyed so much, because I do enjoy audio drama, in some cases much more than stuff I see on TV and film. That's as a lot of you will know, when I talk about Doctor Who, most of my love for Doctor Who comes from the Big Finish audios and why they work. I think they're fantastically written, they're brilliantly acted, and even better produced. I think the production quality on the Big Finish stuff is amazing. That's why things like the special that Big Finish made for the 50th anniversary back in 2013, where they got all the classic Doctors that they could, the ones who were still alive and that, in one big multi-Doctor story. So they had Tom Baker, Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, and Paul McGann, all in one, like, 2-hour story. The story itself was a bit shit and a bit ropey, actually, but the production on it was fantastic. It's like an audio movie, if you like. And it has single-handedly the best version of the Doctor Who theme I think I've fucking ever heard. Second to the theme they used in the Mary Shelley trilogy. Again, Big Finish. Did a trilogy of stories with Paul McGann as the Doctor and Mary Shelley, the author, as his companion. And the theme tune they used for that was fantastic. Oh, here's a strange little, here you go, here's another factoid or did you know thing. Big Finish's Doctor Who theme for the 8th Doctor, originally, the original ones, and the ones they still use on his, on the, like, Stranded series at the minute, which is the plot they have for him at the moment. Written by David Arnold. The guy who wrote the music for Independence Day, Stargate, Little Britain, and a couple of the James Bond themes. A couple of the James Bond films. Yeah, David Arnold did a Doctor Who theme. It's an alright one, actually, to be fair. It's not the best, but it gives the 8th Doctor his own theme that wasn't tied up in legalities like the one from the 1996 movie would be. What time is it now? 9 o'clock. I said I'd go till about 10. We'll see how this goes for now. Might only go up to 9:30. We'll see. Well, that's down to you guys. If you guys want me to keep going till 10, let me know in the chat. Somebody say something in the chat. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, one of the other Alright, fun. Oh, Capcom Fighters is... Oh, there's some Street Fighter fights on Twitch. It'll be going all night. I'll tune into that later. I do sometimes watch competitive Street Fighter on Twitch. I know for a fact I'll never end up good enough to play at that level, but I do enjoy watching competitive Street Fighter. and competitive Rocket League as well. Can be quite fun to watch. Not a massive esports fan. I mean, I tried watching the CS:GO leagues and that. I tried getting into that for a bit. The competitive Counter-Strike leagues. But with that, I just ended up with, I'd much rather be playing Counter-Strike than watching it. But for some reason, the Street Fighter and Rocket League ones... I think, alright, Rocket League notwithstanding, by the way, because I know I've streamed me playing Rocket League before, and if I said what I was about to say then I know for a fact there'd be at least one person who'd go, bullshit, we've seen you play. But with Street Fighter, then, I know I could at least try to play it that well. But with Rocket League, I think it's just because it is basically football, but with cars. Reminds me, actually, I should probably give Rocket League another look. It's been a while since I've streamed some Rocket League. Would anyone like me to do a stream of some Rocket League at some point this week? But yeah, the Street Fighter thing, I know that I'm competent enough at the game to at least give it a crack of getting good enough to be professional. And I think that's why I enjoy watching it, because I'm learning from it as well. By the look of it, though, the first step I would need to take is learning to play a character other than Chun-Li. Because from what I understand, Chun-Li's a bit of a basic beginner's character to play professionally, I mean. So I'd have to learn how to play the game as a different character, which... fine, I can do that. I'll try to... OBS is a bit of a sod. OBS is a sod at times. Well, as you've seen from watching my streams, OBS can be a real bitch. Oh, that's it. No. Oh. Sorry. I'm just looking back at my brother's Switch in front of me and the games he's got. He's got Fallout Shelter. I've got that on my phone. I've got it on PC. I've got it on my fucking tablet. I don't need to start playing another version of Fallout Shelter. Animal Crossing, I'll definitely give a play later. He's got XCOM 2 as well, although I love XCOM 2, but I just don't think I'll play it on this, because I'd get too involved, and when he asks for it back, I'm like, no, I'm in the middle of a campaign. So for now, I'll just have to settle with giving Animal Crossing a try and playing some of the old Nintendo and SNES games on here as well. He's got Among Us on here as well. You know. Oh, ow. Oh, that wasn't good. Sorry, I just moved my leg and ow. He's got Pokemon Unite. Whatever the hell that is. Oh, and Rocket League.
It's a Pokemon game.
Hey, Green. Go on, what is Pokemon Unite then?
I don't know. I don't play Pokemons. I used to back in the day. Played the shit out of, I think it was Ruby. and like especially like I think it was blue version.
Right. Yeah. Well, the latest Pokemon game I properly played was Sapphire on the Game Boy Advance. Although technically Leaf Green then.
Oh, I
Because
did technically.
Leaf Green
I
came
did do
after,
Diamond and
but it
Pearl.
was a remake. Leaf Green came after, but it was a remake of like the Red and Blue ones from the original Game Boy.
Well, Game Boy Color, not original Game Boy.
No. I used to have Blue on the original Game Boy.
Oh wow, you're talking about the freaking brick of a system.
Yeah.
We're old. I did have. Speaking of being old, so yeah, I didn't realize how hard it is to lift yourself up in like just with the arms like into an attic. Attic. Jesus Christ, I need to learn to speak.
Green Thunder is trying to lift himself into an addict.
That's just a whole sex move that I'm not sure how to do.
How are you anyway, Green?
Sore. Like I said, I've finally got all the stuff out of the attic. Or attic.
Right.
I quit.
Yeah.
I fucking quit.
That word that you can't say.
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, games that I want you to play is one that you can't.
Go on.
Well, I do want to see you go through. Well, technically, you do play it Minecraft, except for I want you to go through one of the mod packs that I play, and your computer's not up for that task.
No. But yeah, I don't know how much attention you were paying, or if you saw what I was talking about.
Yeah, I had you on
the
background.
Yeah, my brother has lent me a Switch for the evening. Well, for the next couple of days. So I was just looking at it again then and just deciding what would be the best game that he's got to give this thing a proper look, because he hasn't got things like Zelda, like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey at the moment. He said he's thinking about buying Zelda, but he's got Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing, which is a series of games I've never played before, but everyone fucking raves about it, so I might give it a look.
Why does everyone like Animal Crossing?
I don't know. Well, that's one of the things I want to find out. But also on it, he's got a few games that I've got on PC anyway. So like things like Among Us, Fallout Shelter, Golf with Friends, Rocket League.
For the love of God, is there actually like an Among... Oh wait, does the Switch take cartridges still?
Yes.
Or did they go complete digital?
No. The Switch takes cartridges.
Please tell me there's an Among Us cartridge.
No, there isn't. It's free actually on the Switch, as far as I understand. Among Us, it's like on mobile. It's free. That's a bit of a piss take, though, really, isn't it? Among Us, it's right on Steam. Admittedly, it's very cheap. It's very cheap. It's like what, £3, £4 on Steam.
Yeah, like 4. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but on mobile, it's just an app you can download to your phone and play it, and it's the exact same game. It's not hampered. The mobile version isn't hampered in any way by being apart from the fact you're playing it on your phone. You know, they don't remove any features or anything like that. It's the same game. It's just an app you download to your phone. Which reminds me, actually, on my phone, I do actually have a few non-casual games that I am working my way through. I say a few. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy Dimensions, and the mobile port of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which, by the way, is fucking awful. I wouldn't have this phone. Now, I wouldn't have this game if I didn't essentially get it free. Because I have the Google Play Rewards app, and I accrued enough Google Play credit to buy it.
Mom got me onto one of those apps you play.
It's like $5.99, and so I had all this Google Play credit. I was like, right, fine, fuck it, I'll get Symphony of the Night. It's awful. It really doesn't translate well.
Yeah, Mom got me into one of those apps that you get like money for playing games.
Yeah.
Except for my problem is I don't play my phone that often, and you like basically have to play the games that I really do not like.
The games I play most on my phone are essentially the exact same game by the exact same developer. They've just got two games called similar things: Toon Blast and Toy Blast. And I play them both. They're the games I play the most, but I've got, obviously, I've got Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I've
got the Sonic games on here as well. X-Files Deep State as well. I don't know whether you can still download that or not, whether they've just abandoned it now. But X-Files Deep State, it's one of those like hidden items games. Where you're given like a room and it says, okay, find
yeah. And I think I've played that on the PC before. Something like Bejeweled, but hidden items.
Grimoire of Souls. No, not Grimoire of Souls. Symphony of the Night.
Depending on where you live, the Symphony of the Night sounds totally different.
I've got the ISO for Symphony of the Night on my PC. I just need to reset up my PlayStation 1 emulator and I could stream Symphony of the Night. And it'd be much better than just playing it on my phone. So Konami, if you're listening, step up your game. If you don't want people to pirate your game, make it fucking playable.
Make it where
make it playable on the the actual Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Yeah, you can get it on Google Play. It came out, I think, 2 years ago. Let me check the. Last year, actually, it came out. Yeah. Last year they ported it to Android, and they tried. They tried. It's just obviously, touchscreen controls for something like for a game like that. It's not ideal. I know they did, and it's a shame. It's a shame, Alec. Speaking of which, though, speaking of Konami games, I was talking about this on Discord earlier. I'm going to, and I'm going to start this week, actually, a new series, probably, well, I'll try it on this channel, if it does, we'll see how it goes. But I might take it back to Twitch. But I'm thinking of playing through Metal Gear Solid 2 again on stream, but doing all of the highlighting all of the stupid stuff that's in it, all of the little daft Easter eggs and all of the silly little things you can do in there. You're better off getting a little attachable controller for your phone and using an emulator. Do you know what, actually? The controller I use for my PC, I've got an adapter. I could probably plug this into my phone and play Symphony of the Night on my phone better. But it's just the effort. And it's the fact that it's a tiny screen. I've got a PlayStation emulator. I just need to install it and set it up again. Metal Gear Solid 2 Naked Riding Simulator. That kind of thing. Because there are so many little stupid Easter eggs in Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, when I played through it last year, I just played the game. I just played through the game normally and as vanilla as I could. I think it'd be fun to do it again, but instead go out of my way to do all the stupid shit. And I'm gonna call that series Metal Gear Stupid.
Not answering that. Freaking scammers.
And obviously, taking... I'd be taking... Throughout the streams and that, I'd be taking suggestions from the chat. Like, if I've forgotten something, tell me in the chat, oh, by the way, go over there, look at that poster, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I fully intend to do that. Well, it's things like in the tanker chapter where the big speech is going on, and they've got the two projectors at the back of the hall. You can fuck around with the projectors until they end up showing a not naked but very scantily clad lady in front of everyone. So just a run where I do all the stuff like that. Taking pictures of stupid things in that and sending them to Otacon to see what he says.
He'd probably get annoyed. Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Was it Sunday? Oh.
Yeah, that.
Oh my God,
that
yes.
Kind of thing. Just looking for silly, stupid Easter eggs and silly little features in the game.
Definitely do it on a Sunday because that.
You answer me.
They really want my attention, don't they?
Oh, you're getting scam calls.
Yes.
Yes.
Constantly annoying freaking assholes. Just sitting here trying to breed cows, mind my own business.
Oh dear, you were one word away from being from getting at least a raised eyebrow, let's say. I'm just here trying to breed cows. Thank God the word with wasn't in there.
No, I don't have. I don't think the Feed the Beast mod packs have that, but I think there is actually a thing where you can. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a rumor that there is a mod where you can breed with a horse and make a centaur.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Credible Threat says, memories of Lacey Green. Isn't she the girl who sent you something scantily clad? Right, okay. For legal purposes, I know what you're referring to, Credible. For legal purposes, I would like to state that I have never had any actual communication with Lacey Green. Apart from talking in her chat, I think, a couple of times on stream. She has never sent me pictures or anything like that. That was just simply a joke I wrote for a comedy live stream.
And then she sued you over it.
Just for legal purposes. I feel the need to say that.
But have you heard of the legal purposes?
Although I will say,
dolphins and suits and ties.
I will say, Lacey, if you are watching, I wouldn't mind if you did send me them. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. She wouldn't. I dare her. No, I'm joking.
And I dare you to send money to streamlabs.com/MankPete.
Absolutely. Let's get the legal fun going already. Streamlabs.com/MankPete. When the time comes, I will need to defend myself. To be fair, her politics aside, she's a very good-looking woman. I think she is, anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I think she's a very good-looking woman. And then there was silence. Anyway. TC says he's kidding, but is he really? Am I? Am I really though, TC? You'll never know. Why do you think I prefaced it with for legal reasons? It might have actually happened, but I can't say. No, it didn't. It absolutely did not.
I have to sign an NDA for porn? What?
Christ, hang on. It's right in my back. Got it.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
It's literally, it was just slightly higher than where I can reach on my back as well. It's like I could scratch just below it.
That's when you just dislocate your shoulder.
Fuck that. Alright then, here's one for the chat. Are there any random YouTubers that you find attractive that you don't think other people would? And I've just realised my chat is currently populated by dirty old men.
Degenerates?
Yeah, dirty old men. So God knows what answer I'm going to get, but...
PewDiePie. That's the worst answer. Well, no, that's not the worst answer. That's just the stupidest one I could come up with.
No, it's not that. As a straight man, I could say, yeah, PewDiePie's a good-looking fella.
As a not-so-straight man, if he's willing to pay, I'm willing to bend over. Then again, I say that about everyone.
All right. No.
I prefer money,
no,
but $20
no.
is $20.
I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not going to change Jen's name to what I said I was going to change it to the other day. But I'm not going to change your name to Gay for Pay.
I mean, truth in advertising.
No, just because I think DJ Dumbnut is much funnier.
I love that. Have you seen my playlist? I think it's up to like 81 songs. It's great to just put on shuffle and see what comes up next.
Alright, betting odds. Viper. Right, why are you putting odds on it though? Credible. Right, so. Ella.
Hey, Red.
Hey, Red. So, alright, Viper. Yeah, Viper's a given. Viper's cute. Ella, you mean Ella Tallulah? Or. Alright, okay. My Crazy Life in the South? Never heard of her. Never heard of her. And Weebo Jones. Yeah, Weebo's hot. Weebo's good looking.
Yeah, that's a given.
Oh, yeah.
Where's my demon medal? There it is.
But I've never heard of My Crazy Life in the South. Alright. Let me get on the old... say the old. I mean the... Just let me look her up on YouTube then. Oh, fuck me. Apparently that arsehole Mank Pete is live.
Usually why? Yarning on about nothing. Or not quite. That does not make sense.
Oh, right, yeah. Ella Tallulah. Sorry, I've just looked up My Crazy Life in the South, and all it's brought up is... I'll show you, actually.
Hi, guys. Welcome to My Crazy Life.
This who you meant? Is that who you meant? Credible? I mean, I'm not gonna slag her off. I don't know her, but
No, apparently she runs with Alex.
I think he means Ella. Mank Pete, never heard of him. Me neither, TC. Never heard of her. Never heard of Mank Pete. Yeah, I'm not going to slag her off. I hardly know her.
That's a nice house.
Yeah.
Oh, she got one of them there fridges with the ice maker and freaking fancy ass fridge.
Yes. Yes. Oh, they're cool, them fridges. No pun intended. I just realised what I said after I said it. That wasn't it. Right, fine enough. Fair enough. Red fat and a double oven. I know.
Getting real fancy with it.
Red's gonna steal her kitchen. No, she won't notice, Red. She won't notice. Just go ahead, steal her kitchen. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at Twitter. Fair enough. Since this has been going on for 2 hours and 39 minutes, I'll catch it later. Hello, Simon. Hello. It's not really a lot to sort of catch up or follow, really. We've spoken about a fair number of things. I told a very strange story about me waking up to a couple of prostitutes earlier. Revealed I was going to write for Doctor Who. And just 10 minutes ago declared my love for Lacey Green. So you've not missed much. It's just been a hangout and chat thing. People have been dropping in and out. We had a good chat about British sitcoms earlier as well, and British comedy.
Those don't come over here that often.
They do more often than you think, actually. That's
also true.
More British sitcoms are popular in America than you think.
Seems like every time you turn around a show that is popular, it goes, "Oh yeah, that used to be it's a Americanized version of a British show." What is it?
Well, what's it? Right, so some of what you Americans, so, some of like the classic American sitcoms were actually mixed from, were taken from British concepts. Like Sanford and Son was originally a British sitcom called Steptoe and Son.
Oh, Sanford and Son was awesome.
Yeah, but it was originally a British sitcom from the 60s called Steptoe and Son. I think another one we spoke about last week. I think all in the Family. Have you heard of that one, Green?
Is that the one with Archie Bunker?
Yes. That was a British sitcom originally called Till Death Do Us Part.
Yeah.
As a result of his prostitute sojourn, the channel name shall be changed to Mank Pimp. Yeah. Red Feather, you Americans. What's that supposed to be? Well, you know what I meant. You know what I meant, you Americans.
Always having shotguns.
You Americans with your First Amendment that you don't realise is eroding underneath your noses.
Some of us do, and a lot can't do shit about it. It's horrible, really.
I'm trying to think of other ones. I'm trying to think of other American sitcoms that sneakily are American versions of British sitcoms. I mean, some of them are obvious things like The Office.
The Office, yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's one other that was popular. I just can't remember which one what it is.
Either
way, I ain't watched it.
They tried to do Red Dwarf in America. You watched the pilot with me, Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. I showed you the American pilot of Red Dwarf, and it was awful. There was two, although I can only ever remember seeing one of these. There was two American versions of Faulty Towers. One of them was called Pain. This is the only one I saw. It's called Pain, and it starred John Larroquette.
Sounds French.
No, he's a American. I'm trying to think. What was he? I think he's in. He's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think. Let me look this up. What's he most famous for? Boston Legal? That was Boston Legal. That was the show with, what's his name? William Shatner. Right, in terms of film, he was in Richie Rich, JFK.
I love Richie Rich.
He was in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. Jesus. But he's mostly known as a TV actor. He was in Night Court.
Oh, Night Court's good.
Yeah, that was what he was mostly known as. Mostly known for. The 10th. Wasn't the 10th Kingdom based on a Stephen King story? But yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
You're talking about the 10th Kingdom, where it's all the fairy tales actually are history.
No,
and there's 9 kingdoms.
I'm going to say, Undead Ramen, he was in Boston Legal. As well. He was in Boston Legal as well. He just wasn't the main guy. William Shatner was the main guy. But he was in Boston Legal. No, 10th Kingdom wasn't Stephen King. Who was it?
Yeah, like I said, it's like all the fairy tales, like I know Cinderella and like Sleeping Beauty are mentioned. But they actually happened, and there's 9 kingdoms on their side, and then we're the 10th kingdom that you have to jump through some bullshit mirror to get to.
Right. I remember very half watching it. Because I think a friend of mine...
Al Bundy's in it.
What's his name? Ed O'Neill.
Yeah. He plays Orc.
Yeah. A friend of mine had the box set for the 10th Kingdom, and I think he tried to show me it, and it's one of those things I was half watching and half paying attention to. I just wasn't interested. So I was following it just enough to follow what was going on, but wasn't really paying attention.
I quite enjoyed it.
Bloody hell, Undead Ramen's having a fit in the chat. Yes, the fairy tale thing. Yes, Al Bundy and Rainn Wilson. Look at Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. John Larroquette was in House as well. In one episode, he was in House. He was the coma guy. He was the guy. House brings a guy out of a coma. To question him about his son's medical condition. But the guy forces him to take him on a road trip instead. Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's been in a lot. Apparently Night Court's coming back.
Oh, are they trying to remake that too?
Yeah, Night Court, right. Upcoming TV series. Night Court is an upcoming American sitcom based on the original series of the same name that aired from 1984 to 1992.
I'm waiting for original content to come out, but I ain't holding my breath. That'd be stupid.
I'm dead right. I'm not having a fit. Well. Yeah, apparently, it's in production. There's going to be a reboot of Night Court. They'll find a way, Undead Ramen. They'll find a way. To go back to British sitcoms, they brought back Open All Hours, despite the fact that Ronnie Barker had died. And he was the main star of Open All Hours. For those who don't know, Open All Hours was a British sitcom about a shopkeeper with a terrible stammer. Well, apparently he's the producer on it as well, Undead Ramen. I'll probably end up giving it a look eventually when it comes out. To be fair, though, he looked young. He looked old years ago. He looked old in the 90s. Bit off topic. Do I think Alec Baldwin is guilty of murder? No, I don't. At worst,
It's involuntary.
yeah, at worst, manslaughter, and even then, that's a stretch.
I hate the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's stupid.
it's a stretch to call it manslaughter, but that's the most you could feasibly call it. And my granddad loved Open All. I know, yeah. It was a good show. It was a good show, Open All Hours. Although, Mrs. Fluff, did you see any of the like reboot? No, what's it? Still Open All Hours, the one where it was just Granville or David Jason. I saw a few episodes and it was funny. It made me laugh, but it just didn't feel the same. Am I from Manchester? Yes.
No, not at all.
Yes, Keep Clan. I'm from Manchester. I mean, I don't know what part of Mank Pete gave that away, but... There are rumours that the lady he shot was in... Oh, Jesus Christ, Cred! Of course! Of course, it's always going to be... Oh, right, no, hang on. Well, they were either investigating child abuse or they had information on the Clintons. Fucking conspiracy theorists.
A lot of people are going, a Trump supporter obviously did it.
No, it was just
off.
a freak accident. It was a horrible
Y'all-
accident.
This is why I am trying to avoid it. They're completely making a woman's death and someone else actually did get injured into a political bullshit fight.
And credible threat. You can fuck off with that. I'm not. No, wrong side of the fucking Pennines, pal.
Fuck does that mean?
Right. Okay. Credible threat has just said no. I'm from Leeds in the chat, and Manchester and Yorkshire, where Leeds is, are separated by the Pennines, which is a mountain range in England. We do have similar accents, admittedly, but
Didn't know there were mountains in England.
oh yeah. Credible threat. I have information on. Yeah, Clintons do make good cards. Yeah. Mrs. Didn't like the new stuff. Not quite the same. David Jason is class though. Fabulous for his time. All dated now and a good. Yeah. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but I don't think they should have, because Still Open All Hours came out when they, for some reason, started reviving old sitcoms like that. There was a Porridge remake with what's his name from The Inbetweeners. What's the guy who plays Jay from The Inbetweeners? I fucking made a joke about him in one of my videos because he was in Red Dwarf, and I made the joke is as well. The joke I made was about no one can remember his name because he's just known as being Jay from The Inbetweeners. No, I can't remember the fucker's name.
Was it something Buckley?
James Buckley. Yeah, that's it. James.
That's
Buckley.
the only one I know.
Yeah.
And I only know him because he's played with Achievement Hunter.
Well, yeah, because he's a Twitch streamer as well. That was part of the joke I made in my video, that he's best known as being Jay from The Inbetweeners and a Twitch streamer.
Oh, to be a Twitch thought. Too ugly.
But, how ironic is that, though? I couldn't remember the guy's actual name. The Porridge remake was a bit, it was a bit crap. I think I only managed about 3 or 4 episodes of it before I said, fuck this. Fuck this. I get what they were trying to do, and they brought back Goodnight Sweetheart as well. At least, though, in that instance, they had the good grace to bring back the original cast and the original writers for that one-off special of Goodnight Sweetheart, which I thought was quite good. I liked it. It was like a nice little callback to the 90s. In the early 2010s, actually. It was nice as a one-off special, I'm saying. I don't think they'd be able to do it as a full series. They better not try to do it as a full series. whilst we're on the topic, what series or sitcoms then do you think could be brought back? If you had to bring back a series, what do you think would work? I'm asking the chat, as well as you, Green, if you want to chip in.
You know what? I would love to bring back Tales from the Crypt. Horror always sells.
That'd be a fairly easy thing to bring back, though, because Tales from the Crypt was an anthology series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, as long as... Yeah, really easy to bring that back. I mean, anthology series are... I mean, look at American Horror Story.
I've seen it. Or
Yeah.
some of it.
Santa Clarita Diet, damn it. Literally don't know what that means, but horror anthology will never die. I know. This is why we'll tie this into something I was talking about before. If you like horror and you like comedy, you can't go wrong with Inside Number 9.
I love horror comedies. Although apparently Mom can't handle them.
The thing is, though, not every episode of Inside Number 9 is an outright like horror, like ghosts or werewolves or something like that. It's more very...
BRB.
It's all very dark humour. One Foot in the Grave, I don't think would work. Watching, no. All Quiet, never heard of All Quiet on the Preston Front. 2.4 Children, possibly. If it hadn't been for the fact that the dad is dead. And Butterflies, no, again, just like with Watching and One Foot in the Grave, very much of their time. Very much of their time. They were great. Never heard of, I'll admit, never heard of Shelley or All Quiet on the Preston Front, though. Ow. I think, right, this might be controversial, but I think it's time we got a new series of Blackadder. For years, they've been talking about bringing it back. They have been considering bringing it back for fucking years. And Rowan Atkinson has said he'd do it. It's time it happened, I think. I think, though, round about the time they first kicked the idea around, they said they wanted to set it in the 60s. During the Summer of Love thing. And then round about that same time, that Simon Pegg series, Hippies, came out. Which was set around the same time. And was a bit shit. So I think that might have scared them off. But I think Blackadder is due another series. Obviously, though, with the way things have developed over we'll say the last 30 years, don't involve Ben Elton. Don't involve Ben Elton. Which takes away half of the writing staff. Admittedly, because it was written. It was the good series of Blackadder were written by Ben Elton and Rowan Atkinson. But yeah, don't involve Ben Elton if it does come back. The guy's lost his way a bit. When you said Summer of Love, for some reason I thought the Summer of... Well, yeah. No, the Summer of Love, 1967, I believe, was the Summer of Love. Yeah, it was, because it was the same year Sgt. Pepper came out. Yeah, so 1967. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up in a minute. Because...
Oh, I just got back.
I know. Well, I'm going to wrap up in a minute because we've gone past the 3 hour mark. It's 10, which is when I said that I would end. I need to have a Wii and I have a Switch to play around with.
Sounds fun.
And I don't mean that kind of Switch, you filthy-minded bastards.
I was ignoring the obvious joke.
1960... No, 67 was the... Do you know what?
I always thought 69 was.
Wikipedia will tell us. The Summer of Love. Before I go, we'll look this up. No, it was 1967.
Should have waited 2 years. Would have been funnier. Yeah, Summer of Love in Seattle. 2020.
All right, but yeah, like I say, I'm gonna. Right, are you gonna have Charlie eat you with it? What? No.
I'm betting that's supposed to be hit you with a switch.
Right.
Oh, beat. Close enough.
No. Either way, thank you for watching, and thank you to Trucker for the donation earlier. I'll probably do another stream like this at some point this week, and keep an eye out because I will do the Metal Gear Stupid stream where I play all the silly parts of Metal Gear Solid 2. At some point this week. So thanks for watching, everyone. Peace out, peace off, and goodbye. Say goodbye, Green.
Bye, Green.